Are you someone who's been holding on to grudges and resentments for a long time? Are you finally willing and ready to at least be open to the higher realms of love, peace, and joy? Are you ready to cut the cords, finally ready to cut the cords of resentment and fear? Well, if so, you are going to like today's show. Hi, everybody. My name's Jamie Smith. I am a certified law of attraction facilitator and certified LGBTQ life coach. And you are watching the all new late night law of attraction show for the LGBTQ community and friends, which is every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Pacific. And the purpose of this show is to really uplift you and inspire you and share tips and tools and resources. And also we have also incredible guests from time to time, all too with the purpose of really, helping you to create a rich, full, and joy-filled life. So say yes if that interests you. So today it's just me today, just Jamie. Because I wanted to share a personal story. Normally this show is around half an hour. Today it's probably going to be a little shorter, but I wanted to share with you. This is episode 8, and it's about the power of forgiveness. And I want to share a personal story with you when I was full of anger and resentment, and I did a powerful forgiveness exercise that I'm going to share with you today. And I invite you to do it if you feel so called to try it. And it really worked a miracle and miracles in my life. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But before we go into a little bit more about the topic and how it relates to the law of attraction and also the LGBTQ community, I just wanted to give a shout out. We had 2 or 3 people who just joined my free Google Plus community. It's called the Happy, Healthy, and Gay Live Your Best LGBTQ Life. It's a law of attraction community, and it's free to join. It's also secret, so nobody can see that you're in there, because we have people from all over the world who are joining. It's a growing community of like-minded friends where I post and other people post inspiring links and articles, all to help you, really help you live your greatest life. So go ahead and check that out. So, all right, so let's talk about today's subject for a moment, and let's talk about this subject called forgiveness. But before I do, I want to first read this beautiful quote here to you. Okay, so when we have unforgiving thoughts about anyone or anything, it blocks the positive flow of good into our lives. When we have unforgiving thoughts about anyone or anything, it actually blocks the positive flow of good into our lives. And that is a quote by my favorite spiritual teacher on the planet, Iyanla Vanzant. I actually do a pretty good, some of you know I do some acting as well, and I do a pretty good Iyanla impersonation. I don't think I'm going to do it tonight, but I may do it down the road. So yes, so having unforgiving thoughts towards anyone or anything actually blocks the good that is into our life. So how is that possible? So first of all, I want to teach you just a quick recap about the law of attraction. And as you know, as I had mentioned, I'm a law of attraction, certified law of attraction trainer. And basically, the law of attraction states that you get in your life whatever you give your energy, attention, and focus to, whether positive or negative. And if I look back in my life, there was a time in my life, probably after I graduated theater school, that I was still holding on to a lot of resentment because I was really bullied in school, especially in high school. High school was horrible for me. I mean, I was called faggot. I walked around in eggshells. I walked around in fear. I really thought something was wrong with me. Thankfully, I found theater as an outlet, and I used to hang around. I found some really cool girlfriends that I could hang around who accepted me. But it was a really, really tough period of my life. And so afterwards, I really walked around, number one, really not feeling, and not just because of that, but that was definitely a big part of it. But I walked around feeling not good enough. I walked around with anger and resentment. And it wasn't until actually I shared the Iyanla Vanzant quote, because I remember watching her in 1998 on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she said that you are the love that you are seeking. You are the love that you seek. that quote changed my life, because it was in that moment that I realized I've got all this anger and resentment, but I need to learn to love myself. So I started in this journey of loving myself, and it's a daily thing, and it's ongoing, and it's forever. But it definitely, I really am in that moment decided that I was going to love myself. So I started reading books, and I read lots of different books, and I read books by Iyanla Vanzant and Marianne Williamson and Louise Hay, and they all were really, really helpful. And I can't remember the actual book, but I'm going to share with you the exercise that I did that is from Iyanla Vanzant. And the exercise was this. It was a 40-day forgiveness exercise. And actually, what's interesting enough is Iyanla Vanzant just came out with a new book called Forgiveness. 21 Days to Forgive Everyone for Everything. And there's a free CD, meditation CD that comes with it. I recommend go get this book. It will really set you free. But I'm going to give you an exercise from another book that she wrote. And basically, it was a 40-day exercise, a 40-day exercise. And you just write down this. I forgive blank for everything. Totally and completely. Sorry, I forgive blank totally and completely. I forgive blank, and you do it 40 times, and you do it twice a day, and you do it for 40 days. Now, I know a lot of you are probably already rolling your eyes like, oh God, that sounds like so like, bleh. But, let me tell you, I had a lot of anger, believe it or not, I had a lot of anger and resentment inside me. And so I did that exercise for 40 days. And I'm going to do some more shows on actually dealing with anger and how toxic it is. But this can really help to unhook you from the vibration of anger. And it really just, you feel an instant shift as soon as you do this. So I forgive blank. Make sure you include yourself in there. Sometimes it's not just, and it might be the same person over and over and over. I forgive my father, I forgive whatever. And so you do this for 40 times in the morning and at night, and you do it for 40 days. Now, I'm just going to share with you what opened up before you go, oh God, I don't want to do this. So basically, I did this exercise for 40 days, and I was feeling really, I was going around really just feeling my heart was open. I was loving myself. I really shifted out of the vibration of fear and anger and resentment. And I was now in the vibration of forgiveness, which feels good, right? And so here's what happened. And I'm going to link this into the law of attraction so that you can see that there's a practical reason for doing this, not just a woo spiritual reason. And yes, it feels good, but there's also a practical reason. So what happened was, after I did this exercise, 2 weeks after I did this exercise, I was invited to go to an old, it was a party with some old friends from high school. And I knew that some of those guys that had bullied me in high school were going to be there. And right away I go, oh, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go. But something within me said, no, you got to go. So I went and saw some people that I like and that I know, and we were chatting. And then over in the corner, I saw 4 guys who used to bully me. And right away, even though we were older now, most people had gone to university, we've moved on, but I still had that, oh God, there were those jerks, or, I just was really had this. And I said, no, I've just done this exercise. I'm just going to let it go. Jamie, it's in the past. So what happened was they came over to me and we started chatting. How's it going? And blah, blah, blah. And one of them said to me, actually, 2 of them said to me, hey, Jamie, we just want to say that we are really, really sorry. We're really, really sorry that we were really hard to you in high school. And we were really sorry for having had bullied you. We bullied you. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, that is really nice, guys. Yeah, I said it was really hard. But I said, I really appreciate this. And they said, you know what? We were actually jealous of you. And I went, what? You were jealous of me? Like, they were the cool kids, good looking and cool. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, because you always hung around the most popular girls, because all the girls were my friends. And you would always hang around them, and you would like comb their hair, and you were like, we were jealous because you could talk to them and we didn't know how to talk to them. I was blown away. So we all had a good laugh. But I went home thinking, isn't that interesting? And I went home thinking, before I knew about the law of attraction, my thoughts were, wow, here I just forgave them. I just did this 40, because they were included in my forgiveness exercise. I forgave everyone for everything. And then I attracted that beautiful experience, which was so healing, so healing. So this is what happens when we choose to forgive. And now I want to tie it into the law of attraction. So I told you get what you focus on, but here's what the law of attraction does. Because in a nutshell, it's all about vibes. And vibes are just moods or feelings. And there's really only two. There's really only positive and negative. And so if you're hooked into anger and this and that, you're going to attract more of that. That the law of attraction states you get more of what you focus on. And I just want to just reiterate, I've shown this before, I'm going to show it again because repetition is the mother of skill. But this is how the words that we're using and the thoughts that we're thinking really affect the results that show up in our lives. So, you know, if I finally forgive, I choose to forgive, I'm using very loving words, right? And now I'm thinking forgiving thoughts. And so now I'm sending out the vibration of forgiveness, which is then going to change the results that I'm getting in my life. So if you're looking at any kind of result you're getting in your life, whether it's with a relationship or with yourself or anything in your life, and you don't like the result, what caused the negative result in your life? You just have to look back a box, the negative vibe. Well, what caused the negative vibe? The negative thought. And what was the negative thought full of? Negative words. This here, folks, is a complete spiritual practice in itself. Take a screenshot and memorize this. Okay, we're not at the whim of a random universe. The universe is has a 2-word job description to match vibrations. That's all it's doing. Oh, whatever your most dominant vibration is, oh, the universe is saying, he wants more of that. Let's bring him more of the same. So if you're holding on to anger, resentment, fear, whatever it is, then forgiveness is one of the greatest healers of all. So I recommend trying that 40-day forgiveness exercise. And if it doesn't work for you, or you're still feeling like resistance around it, there's also something that I want to, Iyanla has exercises in the book. She talks about it in the book and gives exercises as well on the power of EFT, emotional freedom technique, which really is amazing, not just to release you from any kind of unforgiving thoughts, but it can really release you from anxiety. I know that Michael Lozier, my mentor, his father was saved from his fear of going into elevators from tapping, and a lot of people have used it for phobias and to manifest more money and all sorts of things. So you can just go into YouTube or just Google EFT or tapping, and what it is I resisted it for about 10 years. Okay, so I get it, but it really does work because when I found out that it's actually you're tapping on different points of your body, the same points that are used by acupuncture. So it's the same points, but you're just tapping. Instead of putting needles, you're just tapping. And you're saying affirmations. So you're releasing stagnant energy. It's a really beautiful technique. So go check out EFT. For those of you who have used EFT for this issue, I would love to hear about it. You can share in the comments below. If you're looking at the live show, then you can definitely share your, if you're watching the show later on, you can share on YouTube, or you can share on the Google Events page or on Facebook. If you've used EFT, what the benefits were for you. And also, I'd love to know if you have a story of forgiveness, then please share with us as well. So that is basically about it. I just want to leave everybody with this little nugget, this little reminder that our natural state is a high vibration. It's a high vibration. And we can feel when we're just being our natural selves and when we're not. And, you know, for me, when I'm just feeling good, I'm in my natural state, you know, Michael Lozier says our natural state is happiness. And for me, when I'm there, I'm just relaxed, I'm in the flow, I'm feeling good. And so walking around with resentment and judgments and fear really does block the good that's coming into your life, because you're just sending out the vibration of fear and anger, and the law of attraction will continue to bring you more experiences to justify those vibes you're sending. But, you know, the key is to ask yourself, well, what do you really want? You know, what do you really want? I think a lot of people have trouble with forgiveness because they think that we are condoning. If I forgive, I'm saying that it's okay, but it's really not about that. When we forgive, we are not condoning the behavior. We're just saying that I choose to live with an open heart. I heard it said that it's not the snake bite that kills you, it's the venom, right? We may have been bitten by situations, by people in our lives, but letting everything, my phone went off, but I forgive myself for forgetting to turn my cell phone off, but letting the poison us, that is a choice. So go try the 40-day exercise. Let us know how it goes for you. Try the EFT if you have any other exercises or things that have helped you to unhook from any kind of negative vibrations, then please share with us. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that another great book is called The 21-Day Consciousness Cleanse. I really love this book. This really helps you cleanse your consciousness completely, and just 21 days. So that's another great book. And I also want to share one other resource. That one's by Debbie Ford, and this one by Gerald Jampolsky. It's called Forgiveness, the Greatest Healer of All. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. It's got exercises and stories about what happened when people chose to forgive, including stories about, seeing people who are causing you anger as your greatest teacher, instead of like, oh, And Dr. Wayne Dyer also talked about in his book, The 10 Steps to Inner Peace, he said that there are no justified resentments. There are no justified. You may think you're justified in holding on to this, but it's really only hurting you. So it's actually a self-loving thing to do, to finally forgive whoever it is you need to forgive. And usually it's the first person that comes to mind when I ask you, who do you need to forgive? Who do you need to forgive? Share with us below. We will support you in helping you to forgive that person. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe it's you that you need to forgive. We're not supposed to walk around, beating ourselves up. We can learn from it, or we can beat ourselves up. So learning from our mistakes is a way to move forward as well. So, like I said, our natural state is happy. And, when we stay committed to that high vibration and being mindful of it, knowing that the law of attraction is just matching our vibrations, then we start loving ourselves more. We start being mindful of the conversations we engage in. We start being mindful of how much we watch the news or listen to negative stories, because if our vibe meter starts to go down, people, the law of attraction will begin to match it. And is that what you want? No. I know that, when we commit to staying in a high vibration, and when we choose to see our vibes as so precious, then the law of attraction will bring you more of the same. And you know what? The sky's the limit. So why limit yourself? Why limit yourself? My only goal these days is just to feel good today. And miracles and good things. I keep attracting great things over and over and over, because it's just a vibrational match. I choose to feel good today, and then tomorrow takes care of itself. And I can say yes or no to the opportunities that come my way on whether they will continue to feel good for me. That's how the law of attraction works. So I'm going to end the program today with a beautiful poem from the book Forgiveness. But before I do, I wanted to do a quick, just tell you a little bit about a course that I'm doing. And I just need to open it here quickly. And it's a course called How to Stop Attracting Negative Things. And it's going to be on Saturday the 14th. There's going to be an afternoon and evening program. So here's a little bit about it. Learn how to stop attracting negative things. And it's an online seminar. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You just go to hangoutwithjamie.com/seminar. It's only 25 bucks. And there's room for 9 people in each class. I already have a couple of people that have signed up. So it's going to fill up pretty fast. It's an amazing course. You get a downloadable workbooklet to write notes, so that you can really integrate the material. It's one of my favorite classes to teach, because when I first took this class, it changed my life, and now I'm certified to teach it. Love sharing it with you all. So go and check that out. I'd love to have you part of our online seminar. And if you do miss it, you can't make the time it's recorded, you can watch it the next day. All right. So I hope that you have been enjoying today's show. I'm going to just see if there's any comments. Okay, no. All right. So I'm going to leave the program with this beautiful poem by Gerald Jampolsky called Forgiveness. To forgive is the prescription for happiness. To not forgive is the prescription to suffer. Is it possible all pain, regardless of its cause, has some component of unforgiveness in it? To hold on to vengeful thoughts, to withhold our love and compassion, certainly must interfere with our health and our immune system. Holding on to what we call justified anger interferes with our experiencing the peace of God. To forgive does not mean agreeing with the act. It does not mean condoning an outrageous behavior. Forgiveness means no longer living in the fearful past. Forgiveness means no longer scratching wounds so they continue to bleed. Forgiveness means living and loving completely in the present without the shadows of the past. Forgiveness means freedom from anger and attack thoughts. Forgiveness means letting go of all hopes for a better past. Forgiveness means not excluding your love from anyone. Forgiveness means healing the hole in your heart caused by unforgiving thoughts. Forgiveness means seeing the light of God in everyone, regardless of their behavior. Forgiveness is not just for the other person, but for ourselves and the mistakes we have made, and the guilt and shame we still hold on to. Forgiveness, in the deepest sense, is forgiving ourselves for separating ourselves from a loving God. Forgiveness means forgiving the universe and our possible misperceptions of God, that we have been abandoned or left alone. To forgive this very instant means no longer being king or queen of the procrastinators club. Forgiveness opens the door for our feelings joined in spirit as one with everyone. It is never too early to forgive. It is never too late to forgive. How long does it take to forgive? It depends on your belief system. If you believe it will happen, it will. If you believe it will never happen, it will never happen. If you believe it will take 6 months, it will take 6 months. If you believe it will take but a second, that's all it will take. I believe with all my heart that peace will come to the world when each of us takes the responsibility of forgiving everyone, including ourselves, completely. There you go, my friends. I hope you like that poem that's in the book Forgiveness by Dr. Gerald Jampolsky. Forgiveness, the greatest healer of all. You know, somebody who knew this story was Nelson Mandela. Perfect example. He chose to forgive his captors. He was in prison for years and years and years, but chose not to hold on to bitterness. And he finally was, freed. So that's what it can do. It will free you. I'd love to know what you're taking away from today's show. Or if you try the exercise, let us know what opens up for you. And next week, the episode is going to be a Law of Attraction Q&A. So if you want to be on my show, on the panel, and you want to ask your burning questions and get live coaching, that will be a Law of Attraction. If you're stuck somewhere, need a breakthrough, then come join the show. There's a borrowed benefit even if you don't get to be on the show, but there's a borrowed benefit of listening to other people's questions get answered. So come watch us Wednesday night, every Wednesday at 10 p.m. It's the Late Night Law of Attraction show. Share it with your friends if you thought it was helpful. And we'll see you next time. Have an amazing week, everybody. Bye for now.